If you have a collection of VIC-20 cartridges, like me, you probably don't have boxes for most of them. Giacomo Vernoni wrote this terrific book about the Commodore VIC-20, and in it he has great photographs of the box art for all of the Commodore cartridges. Now Giacomo has created these printable cartridge sleeves that you can cut and fold into a sleeve for your VIC-20 cartridge. Today I'm going to build a few of these on camera to show how it's done. To get started, first you'll need to purchase the PDFs from Giacomo's website. I'm not sure how much they're going to cost, but they won't be free. I'll post a link to his website down in the description below. Next you're going to need some 80-pound cardstock paper, or 200 grams per meter squared. If you try to use regular printer paper, it'll be too flimsy, but also because it's thinner, the inner dimension will be slightly larger, so it won't hold onto the cartridge very well. Print out the pages in the best quality you can manage, but keep in mind that the PDF is in A4 format, so if you're printing on letter paper, you need to make sure that you have the option selected to not scale the image. We'll need a straight edge for cutting and scoring, a hobby knife for cutting, a paper clip or an empty ballpoint pen for scoring, and some double-sided tape, or I'm just going to use this glue stick. Print on heavy paper, disable any scaling, score, cut, fold, glue. After printing, Giacomo recommends scoring the fold lines next, and for that he recommends using a rigid piece of cardboard and an exhausted ballpoint pen or paper clip. I don't have an exhausted ballpoint pen, but I've got a paper clip here. And the idea is to press into the paper to create a crease. And to do that you need something slightly flexible behind the paper. So I'm using this cereal box cardboard. You need something that you can press into, but that's not soft enough that you can press through the paper. I'm just going to do a quick test right here with the paper clip. I don't know if you can see that, but it did create a nice crease there. And I should be able to use that as a guide to fold it right on the line. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 fold lines here, and I'm going to do my best to line these up as accurately as possible. Press down hard. This paper clip feels a little scratchy, like I'm damaging the paper, and it does seem to have created some creases in the paper there. So it's got a bit of a sharp edge on it. I'm going to try something else, which is this iPhone SIM card extractor. Got a slightly smoother tip on it. The texture of the cardboard actually, I think, is what's causing that bumpiness in the crease line. Yeah, I probably should be using something else behind there because this is creating a mirror of the corrugation. I'll find something else on the next sleeve. And one more fold line. Here's a close-up of that crease. You can see the corrugation of the cardboard made it uneven. I'm not sure if that'll be visible once it's folded. Now it's time to do some cutting. And for that I've got my handy cutting mat here and hobby knife. And the first time I did this I made a mistake. I cut from edge to edge on the paper. And in doing so I cut off the cut guidelines. So this time I'm only going to cut from the cut guide to the cut guide. Not all the way through the paper. Watch your thumb. Looks like it didn't cut through right here. And not nearly deep enough. Not sure how that happened. Now we can see how well it goes folding on those creases. Those creases make it nice and easy to fold it right where you need to. And one more time. Now we just need to glue it together right here. Make sure everything lines up. This is Elmer's purple glue stick. It starts out purple, but it dries clear. Just going to make a streak here. Hold it over 90. Line it up. And press. Didn't quite line up exactly. Hold it and give it time to dry. Yeah, that didn't work out very well at all. Let's give this side a little bit of glue too. Give it some more this time. Edge to edge. That little purple smudge should disappear fairly quickly. This type of glue stick. I did make a mess of it, didn't I? Let's see how a cartridge fits in there. Slides right in. I'm going to try building a couple more of these things, but this time instead of using that cereal box cardboard for the scoring, I'm going to try using just another sheet of this heavy paper. And also try this cardboard that's on the back of this package of paper. These are exactly the same size. Let's see how the scoring goes. Try the paper clip again this time. It felt pretty good. Just eyeballing this here. Yeah, the paper clip feels pretty scratchy. I think I'll stick with the SIM card extraction tool. See what those look like. Not as visible as the ones in the cereal box cardboard. We'll see how they fold. Be careful that you don't cut on the fold lines. Make sure the guideline you're on says cut. The fold lines are dashed and the cut lines are solid. Again, watch your fingers and thumbs. I've had my thumb too close to the edge before. Again, just eyeballing it. This could be off a bit. If I didn't have the camera in the way, I'd probably have my magnifying glasses on, get a little bit more accurate. Didn't quite get through here in the corner. Make sure I get it right back on the same line. And now for the folding. See if these scoring lines are good enough. I find it difficult to do it like this, but yeah. They're not as good as the softer cardboard because they didn't go as deep, but they're accurate and sufficient. In Giacomo's instructions here, we apply the tape or glue, cut it out, fold the sleeve, and these are the folding instructions for the spine. Just line up the edges and press them together. And to glue, generous amount, edge to edge. Line them up and press. And my cuts were not accurate enough, so I need to be a little bit more careful next time I got that angle off. I have to redo that one. This time I'll try using this cardboard from the paper packaging. to do the scoring. And I'm going to do my best to get in close. Okay, that's lined up. That scoring feels much better. I think I got a much deeper press with that one. Yeah, I like this cardboard for the scoring. You can see the score lines much better now. I'll try to edit out, getting my head in the way here to line up these marks. Made sure to cut all the way through this time. Those score lines are much more tactile now, much easier to fold. So this type of cardboard is going to be best, not corrugated, but flat. Yeah, very easy to fold. Much better lineup this time, very accurate. I've done quite a few of these now and learned a few things. If you're using a piece of cardboard like this, make sure you move the paper around each time, otherwise you end up putting the score line in the same spot every time. As far as what to use to make the score lines, a ballpoint pen is going to be best. Unfortunately, I don't have an empty one that's not going to leave a mark. I tried the paper clip, but I was doing it wrong. Using the sharp end damages the paper, and you end up with fold lines that look like this. So turn it around and use the curved end, and that leaves a nice blunt score line that doesn't damage the paper. When you're scoring, try to be as accurate as you can, because any error in the angle gets magnified and then your edges don't line up. I like to put the tool down on the line, move the straight edge up to it to account for the thickness of the tool. And then just press down hard. It's pretty hard on the finger actually, which is another good argument for the ballpoint pen. And we can see the score lines clearly. Those look pretty nice. You can see how accurate they are on the line there too. When you're cutting, the same need for accuracy applies, although it's not quite as critical because it's all on the outside edges. Again, placing the tool on the line and moving the edge accounts for the thickness of the tool. And make sure you cut through on the first stroke so you don't have to redo it. Press down hard so the ruler doesn't move. Let's see how it holds with these score lines. Very nice. And the alignment looks good. And when it comes to gluing, actually double-sided tape is probably a much better option, but the tape that I have anyway is going to be very unforgiving, and it doesn't have backing on this side, so it's going to be sticky. And then of course, if you mess up the alignment ever so slightly at first, you can't reposition it. Now to be fair, this glue can't really be repositioned once you press it down either. But it is pretty forgiving when it comes to overspread, since it disappears nicely. Get it aligned on both ends. And here's a close-up of the final result. The fold lines look very nice. There's a bit of a smudge from my printer. Here's the alignment, and that's just an error on my part when I pressed down the glue off by just a little bit, but hardly noticeable. And there we go with all my cartridges done. That looks a lot better. Here's the redone Seawolf cartridge. Much better lineup. They look a lot better this way. Plus it makes it a lot easier to identify a cartridge when they're on the shelf. Well, that's it for now, I guess. Again, I'll post a link down below to where you can purchase the PDFs. They're definitely worth it, I think, if you plan to display your collection. Thanks for watching.